I'll do a 6-man lobby maybe again next time, but last time we only had 4 people, so I just jumped on down to 4. You know what? I'm just going to do this and not care. Oh, come on. Fine. Whatever. I really get tired of that. Really, really do. That's one of those things that I think needs to be fixed about the game, is how the found works. There have been some ideas tossed around for it, but it's going to have to change at this point. It's just ridiculous that, you know, this idea of, okay, well, you want to not have to have fast button clicking as part of the game, but because of the way the game is built, it actually requires fast button clicking in order to get a solid found, which is extremely important.
And there is much research to be done.
Well, we're late, and this is Cubit, because he already had made his sells and his buys, which I think is too important. I honestly think, in a lot of ways, people should start with less resources. This guy right here, wow. Okay. Because it's too easy to have a big influence on the market by just getting that initial found, right? Because you have carbon to sell and you have silicon to sell and everybody else kind of gets it too, but you got that strength just from being first, and I don't know if that's good for the game. It doesn't feel like it is to me, personally.
We'll have more facilities
Scientific colony founded.
Yeah, let's just go for that one. It's good enough. I'm not seeing a whole lot of water. Unfortunately, Cubit already got the best stuff, obviously. So I guess we'll take what we can. There's okay stuff here. There's okay stuff here. I'm going to take the stuff that's maybe a little closer to us. Maybe I'll just take the 1-and-1 again. This guy's got silicon. He's making a glass furnace already, then 2 steel mills. Okay. Here we've got water pumps down already, which is fine for this stage of the game, and then he'll transition them later, and that's understandable. I'll just go with the usual silicon quarry, actually.
14,000, 16,000, 18,000.
I think we had to. I honestly think we had to. It wasn't fun, it wasn't pleasant, but it felt necessary. We'll get down that aluminum mine. Get down this water pump. And now we wait. We do a lot of waiting, quite frankly. I'd love to get into glass. I still haven't had the opportunity to do that. Thankfully, glass hasn't risen too high yet. So I'm probably just going to start going through this whole process. Everybody is producing steel, so I'm not too concerned about that price being low. Can't really use the black market at all. We just don't have the funds for it, unfortunately. And we're just going to be pushing into this glass purchasing as fast as we can. Unfortunately, Cubit got to the water a hair earlier, so he's going to make a bit more off of it. And then I think he even got to the black market buy, because even though it opens up first for us, it's very difficult to use in a lot of ways. And I think we may want to push for a... I don't know, guys. I honestly don't know. It's another one of those awkward games. Maybe we could push for the black market buy here. We're also going to need to make transitions and things of that nature. We're going to need to upgrade before too long. Like right now. Cubit and I are both doing the exact same thing, right? Water got low. We scrap out of water. We move into the reactors that we can afford. Let's see. I guess I could push for this. I have to sell all my glass, but I can do it. Sell all my everything, buy back into glass as much as I can. I've got a claim set up. I can grab a geotherm. It really does suck just being one step behind everybody else, though. Or, you know, the one guy who's potentially going to be serious competition. Which is just what we are this whole time, unfortunately. The aluminum is bringing in decent money. The reactors will bring in decent money as well. Unfortunately, aluminum's kind of dropping in price right now. The silicon is not bringing in as much money as I was hoping it would. Did this guy is making glass, a lot of glass actually, interestingly enough. And the silicon, I guess what's happened is this guy went wind turbines instead of solar panels.
2,000.
And that seriously contributes to the price of
3,000. 5,000.
silicon changing. Pirate auction comes up, that's going to hurt a lot.
9,000.
Because we have to bid for it. We can't let it go easily or quickly or simply. Any of that. We just have to fight over it.
14,000.
And I think this steel might need to go so we can move into solar panels tomorrow. Like, we've got silicon coming in. We need to take some kind of advantage off of it.
The black market is online.
I think this is acceptable.
Pirates. I hate those filthy bandits.
Okay, we can push to another claim, potentially. It's only 6,000. It might be worthwhile. But it's not entirely necessary in a lot of ways. Well, okay, sell off more fuel. I got a shipment in of my own. Yeah, let's grab the claim. Let's grab the claim. He switched into water. That shouldn't be any real surprise. Thankfully, water's not worth nothing.
Scientific colony expanded.
So maybe it's okay. I got mutinied. Oh, my power got mutinied. Fantastic. All right. I'm actually going to scrap out of steel. Go ahead and make this move now. It's a little late, but it's doable still. Glass is doing weird things this game because of this guy making glass in the corner.
Your new design for the colony layout is simply breathtaking. The other scientists will love the increased resources.
Thankfully, we'll have this back before too long, but this is what I'm talking about. I should have gotten a goon squad. I've just stopped defending my power lately. I have no idea why, but it's causing me problems sometimes. Well, this never got taken, so I'm very tempted just to do this. And at least we stopped his income for a while. He countered it the best he could by moving into water pumps, which was a fairly decent counter this game because nobody's actually consuming large amounts of water. But we did make the move acceptably. I don't know if I'm even going to goon this, quite frankly. Alright, I did get frozen. I was kind of nervous about that, but it does mean we can probably just mutiny here. Because it's likely that was Cubit. He's going to have to transition here, and that's good. He burned through our pirates fairly quickly. He's moving into food now, but we're already in food. So we're still a step ahead there, and we have more food production. Unfortunately, this guy, you know, everybody's made that move into food at this point, because this guy has kept glass fairly low all game.
New land is available for auction.
I mean, a geotherm isn't worth much, but it's worth a little bit, so we can fight over it some. And that's okay.
5,000. 6,000.
Mm-hmm.
7,000. 8,000. 9,000.
I think we'll let it go for 9. I'm not too concerned about it. It is an extra claim in its own way, but he's already committed so many tiles to power that I think we'll just let it go. And hopefully that's all right. Hacker array might be kind of important. I'm not seeing an obvious place to take an advantage this game. We're not really ahead of anybody since we were a little bit awkwardly late to the founding. This guy has just as much food as we do. He's moving into iron mines, which I want to do as soon as all my stuff gets unfrozen, which it is now. There's an oxygen shortage. Maybe we can do a little something with that. Obviously, we don't have any oxygen saved up. But we do have the only electrolysis production on the map right now, so that's an option, maybe. Is get to an expansion, upgrade, and commit into that even harder than we already are. An aluminum shortage. Well, we're not going to upgrade yet then. I don't want to buy into that too much, but we can maybe do something with it. Asimov is at half the money he needs to buy us, which is disconcerting, to say the least. There.
Your stock is being bought.
Bradbury's buying into us. Okay. That's interesting. I guess our stock price is pretty low. We have 83,000 in debt because of power issues. On the other hand, we can just start fighting back as well. Steel's worth nothing. He has a massive amount of steel production. I do want to upgrade.
Your new design for the colony layout is simply breathtaking.
I'm actually just going
The
to,
other
well,
scientists will love the increased resources.
I'll do that. There. That should be good. I have both of them coming at me, which is frustrating.
Your stock
Okay.
is being bought. Your stock is being
Yeah,
bought.
yeah, I know. Bad things are happening everywhere. I got the point. Thanks. Very awkward game right now. Very awkward game. I talked about a hack array. Never actually put it down. I think I'm going to fix
Your
that.
stock is being bought.
Go ahead and do this. Asimov really wants to take us out, doesn't he? Let's hope he can't pull it off. That would be kind of annoying after fighting with Bradbury for so long. Asimov just coming from behind and taking us down would be quite frustrating, to say the least. I just feel like I keep ending up in fights with someone, and then someone else comes after me. And it's like, can't you fight with each other at all? No? Apparently not.
Bidding closed.
Quite frustrating, to say the least. Quite frustrating. I'm almost tempted to just scrap these and move them into water, because water's just looking that good right now. I'm getting EMP'd, of course. Fine. And there's a steel shortage. Why wouldn't there be a steel shortage right now? That just makes total sense. Random nonsense steel shortage. Fantastic.
The black
Let's see.
market
I got
is
power
online.
surged here. I got sheesh. Guys, I don't know what to say. I'm annoyed. I'm frustrated. The game's being a huge pain to me right now. I don't see anything I can possibly do about it. Besides just keep selling off stock and hoping that it's enough money to push me on
Your
through.
stock is being bought.
There, I bought up the rest of my own stock. Now he has at least something he has to push toward. I'm going to completely sell out of Bradbury because I feel like I have to in order to buy into Asimov up here, who has bought into himself as well. Oh, come on. I can't even get the last little bit. Ah. Glass is frozen. Water's coming in nicely, at least. Unfortunately, this guy also has a lot of water that he might just be sitting on. So I don't know how much I can actually use this, but I guess we can try.
The black market is online.
Our hackers have compromised the trading servers. Price manipulation begins shortly.
Somebody bought into it, I think, so I need to watch for this.
Freelance pirates
There.
are auctioning
That
their
was some money.
services to the highest bidder.
Let's move back into food.
1,000.
Even with the
6,000.
cost of glass, I think it's probably worthwhile.
1,000.
Oh, pirates, why do you hate me so much?
10,000.
I really can't afford this, but I know it's going to come down on me. Yeah. Man, there's not even that much glass sitting in there. Hopefully I already have... Yeah, I had some glass shipments coming already. I'll just keep selling down water for the time being. What is this again? Oh, yes. Probably wasn't the best idea of a hack, but hopefully it'll work. Herbert's buying into himself quite a bit, so there's that. Asimov is selling out of
I
me.
hate those filthy bandits.
Steel shortage, we can't really fight over too much. Steel's fairly cheap. But we can do... Oh, wow. Somebody bought into that. Hopefully somebody else was sitting on a decent stockpile to punish them for buying into that so hard. Yeah, okay. That's going to level out fairly cleanly.
Scientific colony expanded.
115. Oh, we have enough if we decided to sell, but we're going to wait and we're going to be patient on this. Not going to expand.
Our hackers have compromised
We
the
caught a
trading
dirty
servers.
rat trying to
He has
break
debt
out.
to pay off, but he's not, so that's fine.
We're not surprised.
Ah!
Just disappointed.
Ran it
in you.
right into the goon squad. That sucks. Okay. There. That's what we had, and that's what we could do. Let's go ahead and pay down debt now that we've reacquired pretty much all of our stock. Start auto supply. Those are all auto supplied. We are making a lot of food at this point, all things told. We also have pretty much dominance of the glass market, so I could just hack that again, potentially. I'm going to wait for these to complete. Come on, finish up, finish up, finish up. There we are. Water's doing nicely again. I could transition some of my stuff into water again, just leave a couple of them in water. Like my glass that's way up here, I could leave a couple in water. I'm tempted to just do this though, like scrap here, water. Water came back down a little bit, but not too far. Hopefully we're still in all of this. Glass is still doing okay. We have a lot of glass. I'm a little concerned about carbon, and there's not a whole lot of it left, so I think I'm just going to take... Oh wow, there's this up here. I didn't even spot this earlier. Alright, hold on then. Let's go ahead and just throw down maybe one extra aluminum mine here,
Trading servers. Price
and then just do this.
begins shortly.
Okay,
The black
that'll work for me for
market
now.
is online.
Let's even throw down one more right. Nope, not there. Unfortunately, I can't use this very much right now, right? Because I was a little bit late and I wasn't paying attention. Hopefully the long-term effects will pay off, though. This guy still has so much steel down. Don't know how much I can actually do that, so I'm going to cancel this. Can't really short chems. He's in chems very, very well as well. I don't know why I just started that when I said I couldn't do that. Let's surplus carbon. And let's try a patent lab, see if we can make that work. We have an extra claim. Let's go ahead and scrap this, move into an engineering lab. I could scrap all these and just move into chems with them. I think that's maybe okay. Still have a lot of fuel stored up. Fuel's still holding its price reasonably well. A lot of water up here. I don't need all this food production. I'm going to scrap this food. Move it into fuel for the time being. Herbert's moved into an Offworld, so I got to start storing up stuff against that. The electronics production is going just fine. I could try an Offworld myself. What did I just do? I surplused carbon. Oh, let's do that again. I don't want him making money off of this carbon over here to the ridiculous amount that he is. Okay. Carbon scrubbing. Beef up electronics production. I need to be concerned about power. I do not have enough of it down at this point. I've only got two sources of power. We could just upgrade power instead of electronics in the short term. We need to upgrade it a lot, but it is a solution to the problem, potentially. I need to be worried about debt still. I need to be worried about how much money everybody else has compared to how much money I have. I need to be worried about my steel production, because it's a little lackluster, and by a little lackluster, I mean pretty darn bad in a lot of ways. What did I even... Was that another It was another carbon surplus. Okay. I'm having trouble keeping track of everything I'm doing right now, guys. Let's try that again. Do this. Wow, that actually worked. Shoot. Wasn't expecting that. My patent lab got blown up. That should be completely expected and no surprise whatsoever. I would love to move some of my claims around so I could use them a bit better. Unfortunately, that's not really an option available to us. One option is to push for superconductor and put something right here. You know, once I've got an upgrade
I've never
done,
seen
which I can
such
go ahead and
elegant use
do.
of funding. We'll have more
Pleasure Dome's so
facilities open
expensive
in
right
a-
now. Don't think I want to do that. Unfortunately, just even an Offworld is super expensive right now, so I have to see if it's even worth it. It might be. With oxygen as high as it is, an Offworld might be worthwhile. I was hoping power wouldn't quite go as nuts as it is. I think I need to just go ahead and move into some of it and then transition back out later, unfortunately. Oh, wow, silicon's gone nuts too. Okay. Scrap out of all this glass that I don't need in any way. Start gathering up silicon, which is so exceptionally valuable.
The black
Yeah, just
market is
gather carbon
online.
too. I was hoping that electronics would do a bit better than they are, but that hasn't happened, and I haven't been able to push to slant drilling yet. I got the carbon scrubbing done, which is good. Power's doing alright. Bradbury's halfway to purchasing us, which is terrifying. Attack this again. We've got all our power upgraded. We're paying off debt rapidly with that, thankfully. Let's keep upgrading other things. Sure. There, why not? Buy into that a little bit, not too much. What's another hack we can get down? I'm not seeing a good hack anywhere. Well, this will work, though. Let's see, and let's upgrade that as well. There we go, that'll work. I did want to upgrade electronics production eventually. 2 claims left. I could throw down an Offworld. It's a little expensive, but cheaper than it has been for most of this, so I'll just get down 1 for a little security. We're still paying off debt. Power we completely destroyed in kind of the way that we expected. So we're going to move back into electrolysis to make sure we have plenty of that down. Silicon is doing its silicon best. That's another potential short, actually, so I'm not going to sell that unless I absolutely have to. 527,000 is what we have to push for the Bradbury purchase. He is sitting on a lot of cash. All right, I did not think Bradbury it's going to be quite this much of a problem for some reason. Apparently, I was completely and totally wrong. I think he's just making so much on steel that he's tearing away with it. I can't shut him down any better because I keep shutting down Herbert's Offworld, but Herbert's not... They're both threats, but I have to rely on them maybe taking out each other instead of me at this point, I think. All right. I don't even care how obvious this is. I just want to make it happen.
The black market is online.
Go.
Our hackers have compromised the
Shut
trading
this down.
service. Price manipulation begins shortly.
Send. I have 1 claim left. I don't know what I can do with it. Let's see. How are Kim's doing at this point then? Still okay, not great. I need to upgrade more production. These engineering labs, he's just tearing ahead of me with them, unfortunately, because he's had them down for so much longer. I got caught up too much in that fight. Sell out. Food's still doing good. I mean, there's no reason to stop making food from what I can tell. Just keep improving all this stuff. We'll go ahead and scrap out of water for the time being. We're sitting on a huge amount of it, and it's worth nothing. Carbon's still fine. Silicon's still incredible, quite frankly. All this food production. How much money am I sitting on? About 650,000. Okay, there we go. That should wrap up the game for us quite nicely. And go ahead and get things done. Buy into silicon a little bit. This guy still doesn't have any from what I can tell. We're sitting on all of it. Solar reactor next to electronics. Man, that's still up there? I thought I fixed that. Shoot. Like, I noticed it as it was happening. I saw myself do it, and I honestly thought I had fixed it already. And it wasn't going to be a problem.
We're not
Oh, and he actually
surprised.
defended it finally.
Compromised the
trading
I'm impressed.
service.
All right.
Price
900,000 is what we're
manipulation
pushing for.
begins
Hopefully the hacks will carry us on through. We do have an off-world sending as well. No advantage to him based on that. Steel production has gone pretty bad. I guess I could start a hack on... what? I know what I could hack. GG. Ooh. Press B to bid on auction. Is that actually in the game? Because that sounds like a good idea to me. I don't know about 0 resources and 0 cash with first claims being free to build, because some of those buildings are a lot more expensive than others, quite frankly, and for good reason. But like, it should be a very small number of resources, or maybe even just no resources and just some small flat sum of cash. Yeah, Juzo, I actually won a game. What do we know? I was correct that we were fighting with Qubit most of the time. And he was the one who was really competing with us in those markets. But thankfully, we did get a buy done at some point. I think there were a couple of strong moves in there that I made. One of them was the glass transition. When I had down 3 glass furnaces, when glass finally got good, that was important. There was the water transition up here that actually made a big difference, and we were able to use very, very well the water short when there wasn't a whole lot of water collection going on and water was already insanely valuable. Some small things like that. And then we just left this in food most of the time afterwards. So what happened was everybody else left food, right? But food, we were at that stage of the game where food has so much consumption going on that somebody has to make it. And everybody is forced to buy it. And that's kind of the advantage of something like food, especially in this game with no robotics. So I think just switching this back into food rather than fighting everybody on electrolysis made a big difference that game. I think that was important. These electronics got some work done, not as much as I was hoping, because I didn't quite get it done the way I should have. I should have just gone straight for slant drilling and not carbon scrubbing. That would have been the much better option. I should have had this be an electronics factory the whole time. But other than that, the electronics were another solid move. Like it was just some small plays like those 4 I just listed are where I think we got our edges. Obviously, Q's edge was these double engineering labs, which he did make work for him very, very well. But unfortunately, they take a while to get fully charged up. You know what I mean? Qubit, I don't know if you noticed, but over the course of that game, you and I were basically making almost the exact same moves at very close to the exact same times. I think you pulled a slight edge in the early lead, especially because of your slightly faster found. But you and I were doing almost the exact same thing the whole time. And then it finally got to this split where like I went for an upgrade, I think. An upgrade ahead of you. And then that's where everything started shifting around a lot more. But it was a very interesting game at the start, where you and I were just doing the exact same things. Yeah, that solo reactor. Yeah, exactly. It was a big, food was a big deal. And frankly, the water short is what really did it for me. The fact that nobody was making water because we only had 1 scavenger. And then even he wasn't super heavy into water. He had just found a very small water plot because you and I claimed all the big water plots. And so that, I think, was the biggest deal. Was the food plus water that I was able to bounce back and forth between. Okay. Let's see. I have time for one more game. I am going